All right, let's get started with the review of this long week in Jersey and Pennsylvania. We're going to go through the, both AC and Spooky Nook for all teams. And we are going to start with 17U Gold. And again, I was at the AC stuff, so I was able to see this firsthand. And I was able to get all the footage from most of the teams. The older teams, I got everything. And not so much for the youngers. But in any case, I'm going to take the time to go through game by game, and with the games I actually saw, give a couple of observations, and then again we're going to go through the usual things and some season long things and see what we can come up with here. So the first game, 17U Gold, was against BW Elite. Just they were really good this whole week. This team, very efficient. But let's take a look at the actual numbers and see if the numbers support what we kind of knew from watching. Because sometimes, as we said, as I say, your eyes can deceive you, but numbers don't lie. So let's take a look and let's see if we can make that 50% effective field goal percentage mark. And as usual, I mean, this team is through the roof. 58% effective field goal percentage. Now, again, keep in mind that since the last tournament, they lost their top rebounder, being Mackay. Now, we did pick up Matt, but he doesn't get, doesn't nearly get the rebounds Mackay got. So we were operating at an extreme disadvantage, and it requires just incredible efficiency for this team to win. And that's what this team delivers, along with some pretty feisty defense, actually, in this particular set of games. But 58% effective field goal percentage is just beyond ridiculous in a high level game. 12% turnover rate. We want it below 20, easily good enough. And the offensive rebound percentage is admittedly low, but we knew this, right? We want it to be 30, but we just don't have the rebounding to make this work. So we were able to make up for it with just incredible efficiency, and, good on them. Now let's take a look at the shot chart first, and then we will go through player by player. And this is beautiful. You have a grand total of 2 shots, literally 2 bad twos the whole game. Just awesome. And that's why you win. That's it. You got guys that can make the shots that they take, and they take a lot of them. And there you have it. Just awesome, awesome stuff. Let's look at the box score and see who stood out. I think we know the answer already from those of us that were there. Well, Roddy was 3 for 6 from 3. Matt, 3 for 5 from 3. Chris, 2 for 5 from 3. X did not have a great game shooting wise, but he made up for it in later games. He actually had 2 blocks somehow. Mike had a very poor game. He was 1 for 6 and 1 for 4 from 3. Ryan was almost invisible. How about that? Only 4 points, 0 for 1 from 3. But CJ, very nice, efficient game for him. 4 for 4, 3 for 3 from the line. He had an and one that almost got me. I mean, I jumped out of my freaking chair at the end of the game. This was basically to seal it. Just a really good, solid game from him. 4 assists, 3 rebounds, just good stuff. Overall, pretty good. Jackson was, not so great. But in any case, just real good win. Okay, now let's look at the second awesome game, and that was against Team Final, where I don't know, they just didn't show up. I suppose we just beat the brakes off them the whole game. I mean, 63-38. I mean, it was a freaking just the drubbing. And let's take a look here. Effective field goal percentage 58%. I mean, good luck to you, sir. I mean, good luck anybody beating us. I mean, 8% turnover rate. Who cares? 20% offensive rebound percentage. We're shooting it like this. No, that this is just obscene. So take a look at the shot chart against. Yeah, we don't want it against BW Elite. His team final. Only 3 shots of 3 bad twos whole day. Just this is why you win. This is it. It's a good high percentage, good EV shots. And that's the end of the game. Let's take a look at the box score here. See who stood out here. This is basically the Roddy show the whole weekend, but maybe, there's one game he didn't do as well. Let's take a look. Roddy, I mean, are you kidding? 9 for 10, 6 for 7 from 3. I mean, actually, nobody else really did anything. I mean, Ryan was 3 for 7 from 3. That's pretty good. Matt again, 2 for 3 from 3. Turns out that, I mean, we just got more shooting in this edition, and it's kind of tough to beat us when we have this stuff going on. And again, and CJ in this particular game at 0 just didn't need it. You know, they just decided not to guard Roddy. Scored 24 points, 6 for 7 from 3, and that's it. End of the game. Just 2 really just enormous wins back to back. And then we get to this game, this Kips Bay game, and I tell you, I've watched this game the last half like 10 times since we played it, and I don't know. I really think we should have won. I do. I mean, they had a couple of good players, but we were right there. I think we were winning at the half. In any case, we played well enough to win. I mean, 52% effective field goal percentage is really good. I mean, they had about the same 53%. They didn't turn the ball over as much as we did, but just an overall a real even game. Just 1 or 2 possessions near the end, and that was it. Ugh, annoying. Anyway, let's look at the shot chart. This is Kenny Satterfield's team, right? The number 7 guy was really good. Number 1 was really good. And here's a really strong shot chart. Almost everything either at the rim or from 3, but you had 4 shots, 4 bad twos. It's really good. Really no complaints. Just 1 or 2 possessions near the end, and that was it. And what's his name from the other team made a turnaround bad two right in CJ's face at the end of the game. So then we couldn't get. Then we had kind of a crappy possession after that, and then we turned the ball over. Then we fouled them and down 3 with like 3 seconds to go. Chris drew up a play, and I don't know how we got a good look. We did. Just a really strong play, and Roddy came up a little short, but. Yeah, would have been 3-0 going deep. But anyway, box score, let's take a look. This was a game at X 8 for 9, including just blowing by everybody on reject like twice in a row. Jackson, wow, showing out in this game, amazing. This is the one game where Roddy wasn't that great. He was 2 for 7 from 3, and Jackson picked it up. That's awesome. That's really what you want to see. Ryan, pretty poor game. He's 2 for 4 from 3 and 3-11 overall. That means he was 1 for 7 from 2. So you can actually look at the video to see what those look like. But Chris with 5 assists. Just like I said, just 1 possession near the end, and that'll do it. Overall, pretty good. And that was the end of that tournament. So let's go on to they chose not to play, I think, game 4. So let's now go ahead to this to Spooky Nook. And I'll tell you, this first game was freaking crazy. I mean, I watched it, and basically nobody missed a shot. it was pretty bizarre. You we shot 62% effective field goal percentage and lost. I mean, how is that possible? Well, the reason why it was possible is we had a 9% offensive rebound percentage. And you just get, and unfortunately, you know, you give up that many more shots to the other team, you know, you're just not going to win. I mean, we in total shots, they had what, 62 shots. We had 43. I mean, like, you just can't win like that, obviously. And, you know, you could either get bigger guys, which then sacrifices efficiency, or again, we could always do. I mean, if you think about it, whether it be for the next tournament or for, you know, if you have, you know, just for learning, if you have a team constructed like this in the future, is to really stress the, you know, the weak side crashes and sending guys to the glass, because we never get beat in transition. So I'm not really too concerned about overextending. Maybe just even a schematic adjustment kind of do the trick, but just crazy game. Let's look at the shot chart here. I mean, the shot chart was awesome. I mean, only 2 bad twos. Everything else is good. That's why we were awesome. Just, you know, just couldn't get a rebound. And that's, unfortunately, you give up 20 more shots for that many more rebounds and you're just going to lose. But I literally have no complaints with the execution of what we were doing. Just kind of victim of circumstance here. All right. Next game was, I think, the global squad. I don't know which came actually next, but I think it was the Team Diallo game. Yeah, we only got 3 games here. This one we won by 1. Let's take a look. Effective field goal percentage of 55%. Again, just incredible. And again, like when you compare it with some of these other teams, you realize, I hope you realize how insane this is. Okay. Then turnover rate, just okay. I prefer to be lower with this team. An offensive rebound percentage is pretty reasonable. Let's take a look at the shot chart. 4 bad twos. Now, again, the goal for next year is to have 0. But I said at the beginning of the season, if we can keep this under 10%, we're going to do well. And we did. So we did. Let's take a look at the box score. This is against Team Diallo. So you did well here. Roddy 5 for 7 from 3, for real. Xavier X 4 for 5 from 3. Ryan, just overall, just kind of a crappy week, if you want to know the truth. I mean, for him. But yeah, the Roddy show again. This is really good to see when X is making these shots. Yeah, so overall, pretty good game. And the last game they played was against, I guess, a pretty weak global squad team, but let's just take a look at it. Wow, this is kind of weird. I mean, we won, but this is their opponents. Yeah, I mean, 68% effective field goal percentage, for real. That's, I'm pretty sure, the highest effective field goal percentage, I mean, clearly by you guys this season. And I'm pretty sure that in the 5 years I've been doing these statistics, including all my teams and even the teams we played, I don't think that, I'd have to look, but I don't think anybody's shot over 68% effective field goal percentage in all of the teams and the opponents, including those teams where, you know, when we'd be 40 points worse than this enormous team that we couldn't stop, even they didn't score 70% effective field goal percentage. This is obscene. 4% turnover rate. This game is ridiculous. Let's take a look at the shot chart, then we'll drill down here. Even you even took some bad twos here. Imagine if you didn't have the bad twos, where you went 0 for 3, 1 for 5, 2 for 6. Imagine if you didn't take those. It's craziness. Let's take a look at the box score. Roddy 5 for 8 from 3. Chris 4 for 6 from 3. Ryan 2 for 3. Mike Mendez should not be shooting threes when these guys are on the court. We talked about this before. Matt 1 for 1 from 3. I would have liked to have seen Jackson do a little better offensively, basically this whole week. X, another good game. And they finished off that week in fine style here. And boy, oh boy. Hope they finish off the season strong. I would change literally nothing offensively with the listen, you guys finally decided to start Roddy, which you know, I was calling for weeks. And he did not disappoint. The only thing I would say, again, is if you want to increase the possibility of competing offensively with the rebounds, I would certainly consider making some rules where you're not just encouraging them to crash. You're ordering at least weak side crashing, maybe sending 3 guys to the glass. You know, like the one shooter just drifts back. Whoever's up at the top drifts back, and everybody else crash. Just to give yourself a chance, you know. But yeah, just awesome stuff from this crew. And we'll take a look at the season. Again, 25 games. I like to say 30 games is a real good sample. So after this last tournament, we'll definitely get there. Just totally absurd. 55% effective field goal percentage. Let's take a look at the offensive rebound percentage is poor. We talked about that. Turnover rate, pretty good. Shot chart for the whole season even. Let's take a look at this. And just to give you an example, you know, like you look here, and I want to break this down by all zones. You paint 2s and 3s. So only less than 10% were, you know, bad 2s. And you see, like, you're shooting 44%. That all this drags down your effective field goal percentage. You know, this has to be 50% to equate to 33% from 3, and we're 39% from 3, which in and of itself is ridiculous. So, I mean, again, it's something to continue to strive for, is to get these shots as close to 0 as possible. But during the course of the season, you guys did a really, really good job. I'd like to think that, you know, maybe me yelling at them a little in practice about this help, but I think they just have learned that these are good shots and these are good shots. But when you have a team that is not, you know, that wants to take these mid-rangers, you really have to drill into them how inefficient these are. And you guys as coaches have to appreciate these numbers yourself before you'll be able to, you know, emphasize this stuff to the kids. All right, that will do it for the 17U gold team. And actually we won't, that's not going to do it, because I do want to look at the stats. Sorry about that. Individually for the season, which is going to be, once again, pretty absurd. Let's take a look at totals. We'll rank them by effective field goal percentage. I mean, Roddy, 67% effective field goal percentage, including 49% from 3. Well, not much to say about that. Ryan Weiss, 42% from 3, which is insane. It's incredibly good. It's just kind of got overshadowed by this. But this is really nice. 60% effective field goal percentage. Chris had nice, Chris, X, even CJ was over 50% effective field goal percentage. This team is extremely strong. You won't have a team like this offensively. You just won't. Anyway, you might though. I mean, you might if you continue to drill in like what efficient basketball looks like, you know, from a statistical perspective. Anyway, want to look at points? I mean, I don't really care, but I don't know where the points would be. Oh, scoring. Once you average the most points, let's take a look. All right, points per game. Ryan was 13. He was the leading scorer, 13.5 points per game. Then Roddy about 10.9. And then X 9.5, Chris 8. So pretty balanced as far as actual scoring goes, with your best shooters being your top scorers. And that'll do it. There'll be one more video on these guys after the last Virginia tournament.